What's up, workforce? Brian here.
Chris here.
And today we're actually delving into the world of Bozja, in this case, talking about what needs to happen with this piece of content because both Chris and I have completely different experiences with it. And I think especially over here with a Reddit thread, let's just go ahead and set some context real quick, saying that they need to patch Castrum in Bozja. I'm getting really tired of not being able to finish the stupid quest and be able to get the coin/resistance armor because literally no one, and then in all caps, including a dedicated Discord server, I love caps on the internet, it makes me laugh, will run it. I've seen it pop 5 to 6 times and no one does it. And they need to give more experience or better rewards to give players incentive to do it again because it's a really horrible game designed to screw anyone out of content because they didn't play on patch release. So that's kind of the context of this video because seeing these kind of threads pop up, Chris probably relates more to this than I do because excuse me, I cleared Castrum when it was fresh and new and hot, and Chris waited, and now he's also kind of in that boat. But before I let him speak,
Did I wait?
I don't know. You took a break, right?
It's fine.
Anyway, but before we kind of dive into this, talking about what we think they could do to improve this system, improve Bozja, especially because the new update to it's coming out here probably in a couple of weeks. We don't have a specific date. Chris is live on Twitch, guys. Right now, we're on a goal for 10,000 followers over on Twitch. Top link in the description. If you're watching this on the day it goes live, he's got a special guest at noon today. So he's been doing some really awesome and interesting collabs. So go check out today. You don't want to miss it. It is some of the most interesting content that I enjoy lurking and watching. But of course, I am biased. But we'd love it if you guys help us hit our 10,000 follower goal sometime this year. So we still got plenty of runway. And yeah, hopefully you go check him out. Chris, you're cut off. You're blocked. You're not progressing.
Yeah, that's what I get for being in the current tier. This isn't insanity. This isn't Eureka where Paul Deasy Arsenal comes out and you go, oh yeah, I need to start that.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, oh, well, how far have you gotten? Yeah, I haven't made it into the zone a single time. Oh, well, that group of people is frustrated. Okay, that's a design error. That's a mistake. We didn't really anticipate people wanting to get on the train late. And so that group of people ran into some resistance and had to organize their own groups. And there are still groups that try to organize for that from time to time. This is literally, I was told, hey, we're all going to ride to this big thing together. Cool. Let's do it. Yeah, I rented a limo. It's going to be awesome. Just be at my house between 9 and 10. You're like, great, man. I'm in traffic at 9. You know what? It's fine. I want to stop by. I want to pick up a little bottle of champagne for Brian. No big deal. Pick up some champagne, show up at 9:15. They're like, I said between 9 and 10. Yeah, they left at 9. They're gone. I'm not late. This is content that was not being replaced till 545. Right? Yeah, that's it. That's the next one. 545. Right. It's not out. I played to rank 10 and I was like, okay, cool. I'm enjoying this. I don't want to burn myself out on it because that's what got me off Eureka. So I'm going to take a break and I'm going to finish leveling the jobs I was leveling for 1, maybe 2 weeks. And then I'm going to come back. Well, there's still a ton of life in this. And then I'll play through it. And then my level 10 story is Castrum. So when I come back, I'm going to have this big, amazing burst experience to welcome me back into Bozja. I'm going to hit it hard again, go 10 to 15, knock out my Castrum. It's going to be a blast. And all of this is going to be done before 545. No. You can't do it. You can't do it. And it's incredibly frustrating that I'm being punished with what theoretically is the highest level Bozja thing you can do right now. Theoretically, it should be interesting. It should be the thing.
It feels very contrarian to how we typically advise, people to enjoy the game. Outside of the fact that the bigger,
it'll
take
be there.
Your pace, enjoy the story, and it's it's okay, but one of the things that I even just posted a video this week saying if you're gonna start or you're gonna return, now's the time because all the media, all the marketing, it's all going to be hyped around what's coming next. So ultimately, that's that. But here in this content, it's that if 545 drops, stop whatever you're doing and do this thing.
I wasn't asking if you were having fun. I
Right.
wasn't asking. You have to play Bozja on launch, or else never ever want to touch it.
It becomes it's not impossible, but it becomes increasingly frustrating. And we've even
Yes.
had people, and so I've actually in our own Reddit, not Reddit, yeah, we actually have our own Reddit, but in our own Discord, like I never even talk about our Reddit. I just
That
like
is what Reddit feels like. That you've created your own little echo chamber, and it's like it's okay. I'll just show you things you want to see.
Brian, you're beautiful. Just like
I'm in the Brian is beautiful Reddit.
Yeah.
It's just a bunch of people complimenting Brian's.
yeah, just hey, you
It's great.
are you a Brian? You're beautiful. But like even our own Discord, people are like, "Hey, when are y'all gonna do? When are we gonna do Bozja again?" And it's like, yeah, actually, that's not a bad idea. I think the first thing first is be
You shouldn't have to start a YouTube channel to get a group.
well. The thing is
That's
that we
not
have
okay.
one. We have one. We do streaming. I was telling basically my plan is that once Elizabeth starts sleeping through the night, once we get back into kind of a normal rotation, I want to look at say like, okay, let me find a time that I can play and hopefully maybe organize more community events that are enjoyable within the 14 space. So like the immediate non-developer need, like not actually putting any work on the devs, like how can I help the community and and also enjoy it myself. I've cleared it, and I love the content. Like I really do enjoy what the systems are in place, and I've long hoped based off of this that we see them trickle out into the game itself. Like I think how awesome would it be if Zones had that. Okay, but that doesn't solve and fix the problem for you. And so then the question is that do we see them like what kind of reward incentive do people need? Because we saw
Not
the
just a
initial
reward issue.
Okay, I agree. But like we saw a huge chunk of people leave when the Savage tiers came out, right? Because that's the new thing.
Yeah, that made sense. That
Yeah.
made sense. I was like, oh, I wasn't even mad. I logged into Bozja. There were like 4 people in there. I was like, you know what? Savage is alive. They'll come back.
Yeah.
Nope.
No, and
I mean, there are 40 or 50 people in an instance now.
which is good. That seems to be a
They're
little
not
bit
running
more balanced.
Castrum.
But what's the fix? Like, let's talk about incentives, and then let's talk about system or what have you. Like,
So, first of all,
mhm.
you cannot have the metal drop as hard when you're in Castrum for dying. Because I am actually trying to level to 15, and I got a group, and there were 28 of us, and I hear that there's been groups clearing it with as low as 18. Would we have preferred a bigger group? Sure, but 28 was like a miracle. I was like, oh my god, this is like the biggest Bozja group in the world willing to run Castrum. A partial instance, and so we got 28 of the 60 people to hop on in. I was not in the Discord. This was just a live thing. Bunch of people said, you know what, I'll hop in, and they were giving us all advice. So we spent a bunch of time teaching everybody. We did a failed pull, then we pulled again, and the timer ran out at 0.1% on the first boss. Heartbreaking. Okay. Unfortunately, we still had a limit breakup, but okay. So and it would have made a difference. Like you got to get further than that, but like it did hurt that we were at 0.1 and didn't get it clear. So and then you run out of time. And during that, if you die, you lose your full medal for dying. And then when you wipe it up and you're trying to get back in, they're running in, and I'm up against the boss because I'm a tank. And so like I had to release. Well, any of you that have ever released in Bozja are like, oh, don't do that. You lose an additional 8,500 medal, which scales up what level you are. That would be higher had I not been level 13 at the time, and I was level 15. So I lost 10,000 medal. And the time it would have taken to do a few fates and maybe even a critical engagement for a chance at rewards that I could get outside of it. Like the fact that I lost all that time and got nothing for it is fine. It's the nature of relic content. It is very much a trade time for gear mentality versus Savage, which is trade gear durability and learning for gear. Right. And so like that the relic has always been asking more of your time than of your skill as a general rule. It's you can run one fate, can you run 1,000? That's fine. Why do I feel like I literally went into Castrum to try the newest, most exciting, best thing, and I logged out and I came out of that and I was literally backward, not just the time I spent in there, but an additional 30 minutes worth of metal. That's insane. And so then once people get what they need from it, they've got their clear, or they farmed it till they got their. Why would they ever do that again? Well, they'll do it to help people. Altruism cannot be the only and sole modifier in the entire world. You can't. It's like, well, some hurricanes hit and like we have government relief, but like we really want to give charity a chance.
Mm-hmm.
This is why we have a National Guard. Like that is the plan. Yeah, but
so
would you Red Cross group out of Arkansas, and like they're putting some interesting stuff together. They got flyers, t-shirts. That cannot be the only way to clear this. In the current patch, it will only get worse when we have Baldesian Arsenal. And then it'll only get worse still when he said 545 is not the only piece of this. 555 is going to get a piece of this, which means Baldesian Arsenal, the new thing, whatever it's called, is also has a chance of being old. It's going to do this too.
So what would you recommend? Like, would you like to see them, and this is like a long shot in hell right now, but like bringing in the trust system to fill in gaps? Obviously, it wouldn't bring in the specific characters or whatever, but there's other.
Cheapen it, but you either got to bring in the trust system, or I need to be able to queue for it directly. I don't need to, because right now it's like, oh, we're going to put groups together. Cool. We all got together. Now we all go into the instance and wait for Castrum to pop. And maybe people understand the series of events that triggers Castrum, but it's not. Okay, we're going to make a group, and then we're all going to try to get into the same Bozja instance as a huge series of 8-mans.
Yeah.
And we get into the same instance, and then we have to kind of all do a series of jumping through hoops. So like it needs to be in Dungeon Finder. Okay. It needs to be in Dungeon Finder. And maybe it's in Dungeon Finder in a way where like you can only get there through Party Finder. Maybe you can't queue random. And that's fine. But the idea that And the problem that it's more than 8-man content, so you would want to be able to get in there with multiple 8-mans. So it's very much like a party finder into your thing, and then there's going to be, so it needs its own. We have to be able to get there directly. And I know maybe at the beginning it's something that pops random, but like at some point mid-cycle when it dies, you have got to start funneling people towards it because you have made it part of the quest. It is a required thing to go past quest level 10. And people asked me yesterday when I was on Fisher, they're like, how come you haven't done your Fisher quests? Because there was this impossible fish at like 50. And so like I did all the way to the 50 quest. I put 4 hours into that and was like, nope. And then and I was in like ARR. And like, here I am in Shadowbringers. And he's like, has it ever gotten easier? I don't know. Like 0 effort has been given. Like, I'm done. I gave you 4 hours trying to complete a quest. I'm done. I'm done. So like you can't, for an expansion that added trusts and all these things to make sure nobody will be left behind and it will age beautifully, we have somehow created something in Bozja where like it won't even age its own patch cycle. And that's a problem. So I think first and foremost, you've got to get people in. People that want to run this need to be able to find groups, and I don't need to instance hop across the 2.5 dead instances to get there. Like you have 12 people in one Bozja that want to run it. You have 26 people in the other Bozja that want to run it. And you have 4 here. That's a group. So start putting people with like-minded individuals. Give us a vehicle by which to do that. And then of course, don't punish. It's like, well, that's what you get for being a tank in Bozja. You sacrifice 13,000 metal. Well, how come we don't have any tanks in here? Like you've got to start telling people what roles it needs. You've got to start incentivizing that with adventure and need. You've got to stop punishing people for simply trying to play your game. And it feels so weird because we sat down to record and I was looking at all the positive news in 6.0. Like, this is my one point of frustration. This is my one gripe with Shadowbringers, that like, I didn't realize this. I was sitting down, we were talking about all this wonderful news. Then we record this and like, I think I'm mad about this. And I just didn't know because I'm so happy with the rest of the game. I'm playing through ARR right now and having a blast. Like, I am loving this game. I am playing this game so much right now and I'm hungry for more. This Bozja thing is frustrating.
Yeah, I was like, wow, we definitely stepped on. I think that's why it's such an important topic, because it's not just you. It's not just Reddit. It's not just Discord. It's like there is the sense that it's like you kind of feel like, and especially because of its narrative and its importance, even though it's a side MSQ, like I really enjoyed this story. Like I loved this aspect of what's going on with the guns of Blades of Gunhilder. Dyslexic Brian dyslexics. And so then it's like, I think I'm hopeful that with 545, because we are getting that next evolution to BA, and they did talk about how it's going to be something where they can jump in. That system hopefully would be something that can kind of take, because like if you think of the duty finder itself, like what is that? Is that a raid? Is that like, how do you classify it? And they could classify it as Bozja content. Like,
you can require my medal level. That's fine.
Right. Okay, cool. Like, go in and get your medal, and then here now you're ready. Because I think I think you're right about that. Because the thing is that you can't find the team, and then outside of that system, then you have to then you can look at also incentive. Why would somebody who's already cleared this, want to come back and help others who have yet to? And I think there's definitely some room for adjustments that will ultimately help improve the system that way as well. I think if you just focus in on rewards, the problem with rewards is it expires. As soon as the majority of people get those rewards, the majority of people are then therefore not incentivized to go back in. So you need ever-flowing, drip of new rewards to always re-incentivize people to come back, or you need to have some fundamental system-wide change that helps get people into the content. And then obviously then rewards them for their time itself. So I definitely agree. I think one change I would like to make before we kind of wrap today's video up would be like, I have long wished that, I know it's narrative that it's 71 and up. I look at this content, I'm like, I would love it if you could start to let like level 50s in, where all of a sudden you don't have to have this overarching story that says, okay, here you go. Because imagine if you had like a level 50, now you could be in there leveling up that job, that alt, that you haven't been able to. And I think that could help, because the rewards for leveling XP seem decent, and that's one of the things that I enjoyed heavily as a part of leveling in the content. But it's so strange that it's like, narratively, yes, 71 and up. However, like, okay, you've cleared the story.
Maybe not your first character. Maybe right. You're like at medal 10 or medal 15 before you can start getting onto alts. Like, you've put in your time.
Yeah.
Maybe the duty finder thing is the same way. Why would people do Castrum if it was in duty finder? Okay, well, to queue for the duty finder one, you have to have medal 15. And so the Castrum organically pops in the zone when the content's new, and we get all these 10 and above, and it's amazing and it's fun. But like, as it ages, you have to get further into the grind before you have access to the faster tools. That's fine.
Yeah. I think that could be something that could end up helping out, because once you've already done something, if you have like a level 15, level 50 monk, and you're like, I never really touched it. Might as well like participate, get these rewards and level, like just try to check as many boxes as possible. Obviously, this is like, just our discussion. We'd love to know your thoughts about what you guys would like to see changed with this whole system, especially as we move into the next big update, which should be coming out here in a couple weeks. We'll be sure to give you our thoughts. Chris has a video going up soon talking about his thoughts about 541, as he's been doing lots of crafting and gathering, so be sure to go check out Gaming Kinda. Chris, any final thoughts before we wrap up today's video?
No, I didn't realize there was a point of the game that made me this frustrated. I guess I've just suppressed that. And like, I tried going into Bozja, and when it's not fun, I just back out. I just go do something else.
Yeah.
So like right now I'm crafting a lot this week, and I've been leveling tanks, and I've been doing some healing, and like I've just been playing other stuff. It feels like I'm trying to run an old Ultimate. Except I'm trying to run an instance that is the top level thing for current content.
Yeah.
Like, why for the top level thing within Bozja why is that hard to find a group for?
I guess we'll have to wait and see, guys. Thanks so much for hanging out with us, guys, as we move towards our crazy goal here on YouTube of 100,000 subscribers in 2021. So if you guys haven't hit that subscribe button, we'd love it if you did, and to check out our other content. You can always unsubscribe later. No hard feelings whatsoever. For Work to Game, my name's Brian.
My name's Chris.
We thank you very much for your time, and hopefully you have a fantastic day. We'll see you soon.
Take care.